This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1079. Change can happen in an instant. Has it happened to you? By Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com, and I'm Dr. Neil. Hey there, happy Saturday. Thank you so much for being here, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I act as your narrator of the best health and fitness blogs, all for free. And don't forget, we have 5 shows where we do this, covering a bunch of different topics. Just search for Optimal Living Daily in any podcast app to find them. In the meantime, I'm going to keep this intro nice and short, so let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. Change can happen in an instant. Has it happened to you? By Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. Have you ever had a moment, maybe a conversation, event, or even reading a book that felt like a moment of insight and it literally changed your life? As we all know, the problem in adopting healthy eating habits, making a lifestyle or job change, or even starting a vigorous new exercise routine usually isn't due to a lack of knowledge, but the ability to set ourselves up to actually follow through. We often think change only happens over a long period of time. And yes, when it comes to changing physically, that's often true. However, leveling up mentally or making life changes can in fact happen in an instant, but only if action is taken that solidifies this new life you want to live. How can we make sure that these moments of, holy, things are going to be different, actually result in permanent, positive changes in our lives? After all, epiphanies are only life-changing if you apply what you've learned. A while back, we held Kamb of Nerd Fitness, which had over 300 rebels leveling up their lives and was a massive success. We now have a phrase that caught on 2 years in a row. Hashtag CNF365, also known as Kamb of Nerd Fitness 365 days a year. Although Kamb of Nerd Fitness is a 4-day event each year, it's only really effective if the principles, lessons, and friendships carry over all year. You can only physically transform so much in 4 days. Yes, eating healthy meals and exercising for 4 days is an amazing start, but it doesn't help much if you return home and go back to a couch potato lifestyle with Domino's pizza every night. As author Jonathan Fields tells it, quote, "We tend to think of profound change as a process that happens over time. Sometimes that's true, but other times, deep, lasting change can happen in a moment." End quote. If you've ever attended an event, a seminar, a conference, or even read an article here on Nerd Fitness that made you want to change how you live, you might have experienced one of these moments. It's like a bolt of lightning, a flash of inspiration that makes you look at life differently. Think of it like Neo seeing ones and zeros in the Matrix. Long story short, if you've ever had one of these moments, it's important to make change a priority every day so it becomes habit. This is why we love small changes here in the Rebellion. It's a great approach to help you realize that moment of insight. Rather than drastically changing everything for 30 days and then returning to your old ways, I would rather you change one thing, but make that one thing permanent. Don't go on a diet ever. A diet implies temporary change. Instead, make a fundamental change to your relationship with food and make a small healthy change that is permanent, like drinking less soda or cooking one meal at home each week. Sign up for a recurring class or course. If you go to a powerlifting seminar that makes your head explode with excitement, sign up for a powerlifting meet that keeps you focused on that goal. Love martial arts? Get going with a class in your hometown. Take action now. Read a great book? Get off your butt and go sign up for something. Or take your first action. Build something. Draw something. Write something. And then repeat the process the next day. Specific steps and actionable decisions override brilliant but unexecuted plans. I think I realized why camp worked out so well in terms of people taking action. We introduced merit badges and quests. We challenged campers to complete a series of quests throughout the week in exchange for earning merit badges. We knew quests would be a hit, which is why they are also part of the Nerd Fitness Academy. But people went nuts for them. It was so cool to see. Fortunately, you can apply these same game mechanics to your own life as well. You can create a list of things you want to accomplish, and then make sure your next step on each is small, actionable, and specific. You can give yourself a reward for completing those tasks that then reward you back. I've built my life around these types of structured goals, and you can too. The toughest part is often getting started. So make the first step so small that it's easy to get started with it, and be okay with taking imperfect action. Internal change can happen in an instant, but long-term change happens over time with consistent action taken. Follow through. We return from events like Kamb of Nerd Fitness, or from reading a specific book, visiting a country, attending a new class or conference, and things feel different. Even if we just had a mental breakthrough after reading an article, or, listening to a podcast, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. There's something new there, an excitement and anticipation of change. That's the initial afterglow, the confidence, the happiness, and the changed behavior that comes immediately from this moment. But it can last for as long as you'll allow it. You see, the goal for permanent change is to change from afterglow to everglow. An afterglow burns out after a few weeks before life goes back to how it was. An everglow, however, is something that lasts permanently. It's the fundamental changes you make to your life that become your new normal. No matter if you felt empowered to change after reading a great article, having a candid conversation with your doctor, or attending the biggest event of your life, if you don't start implementing changes immediately, you can't level up. Remember, new quests must be created. A bigger dragon must be slain. You just listened to the post titled, Change Can Happen in an Instant. Has it happened to you? By Steve Kamb of nerdfitness.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. I want to repeat something that Steve said. He said it so perfectly, I don't want to paraphrase here. Quote, "The toughest part is often getting started, so make the first step so small that it's easy to get started with it, and be okay with taking imperfect action." End quote. Once you've taken that first step, use the momentum you've gathered to keep it going. So when you come back from the grocery store, after having purchased all of those wonderful fresh fruits and vegetables that you just know you're going to eat this week, keep that momentum going by taking a moment to prep those fresh foods. Instead of stuffing them into the crisper drawer where they'll be quickly forgotten, take the time right now to wash and chop them. Get them ready for that delicious meal you're going to prepare. Put them in clear containers at eye level in your fridge, not hidden away in the crisper drawer. When they're in clear containers at eye level, they'll stare back at you every time you open the fridge. It'll be as if each time you open the fridge, those fruits and veggies will be singing that single from the 80s by the band Simple Minds. Don't you forget about me. And when you end up using them in your weekly recipes, you'll feel that sense of accomplishment, or what Steve referred to as the afterglow. And if you can follow these steps each time you come back from grocery shopping, it will soon become an everglow. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you're having a great weekend if you're listening in real time, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for the Sunday show and where your optimal life awaits.